Good morning, everyone. So today's lesson is lesson 3 in module 5, so your white module book on the homework page. I don't have the book in front of me right now, but I think it's page 16. Okay, so if you're not on page 16, get there. You can do the problem set in a couple weeks as review. You can try the problem set. I think it's on page like 13 and 14 if you'd like after this with similar problems. But today all you need to do is this page with me, and I'm going to do it with you. So I'm going to zoom in here. These directions are really complicated, but basically all you're doing is finding the volume of this shape and finding different ways to show how you counted that volume. So you guys were really good right before we left for all this craziness at finding volume equals base times height. I'm not sure if you remember that. Base times height. So I know if I counted all the cubes up top, I'd have 4, 8, I'd have 12 in my base times 2 going up, which is my height. So my volume would be 24. That's one way that we've learned to solve it. The book today is asking you to show different ways to get that same volume in the same shape. So let me erase this really quick. Okay, so we already know that the volume here is 24. No matter what way I count it, if I don't get 24, I'm wrong. So I'm going to just put 24 up here because I know that I need to get 24 centimeters cubed by the end of this. Okay, so let's see here. If I count just the 2 bases, I know there's 12 in this top layer and 12 in the bottom layer. So what this is asking me to do is kind of show me, okay, here's 12 centimeters cubed, 12 cubes in the bottom, 12 cubes on top. That's one way to solve it. And guess what 12 plus 12 is? 24. I don't really care about this chart so much. If it's confusing you, don't worry about it, okay? Another way we can look at it is by counting the width going back. So I'm going to use a highlighter here and show you in blue. So these two, the 2 behind it and the 2 behind that, I know this little group has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to show that by saying, okay, well, I know going this way there's 6. Then there's another row right here that also has 6. Another group has 6. And then my group on the end has 6. So I have 4 groups of 6. 6 times 4 would get me 24. Still have a volume of 24. And I personally can't even think of another way to show that would make sense on an iPad, so I'm not going to do that with you. So if all you can get is the first 2 or even just one of these, that's fine with me. If you have to watch the video on the QR code to fill this out, that's fine. You guys are really good at volume, so I'm not worried, okay? So I'm gonna do just one example down here in the bottom one in case you're confused. So, all right, let me do volume the way I know you can solve this. So I'm going to do volume equals base times height. So my base has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So volume equals 6 times, and it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that my volume is 30 centimeters cubed. So no matter how I solve this today, I need to get a volume of 30 because that's how many cubes that there are in the shape. Can't change that. All right, so let's see how I can get how I can get 30. So kind of like earlier, if I look at my base, that gets me 6. This base gets me 6. This layer has 6, 6, and 6. So on this shape, I'm just going to show that like this. Not very artistic. You guys know that though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in every single layer, I have 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, 6 here. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is going to get me 30 centimeters cubed. So I know I've done that right. Okay. Another way I've seen a lot of you guys solve this when the shapes are really tall is kind of like we did above by counting everything here in yellow and doing it by how high it is and how many layers to the left and right it goes. So let's count those. I know this little stack right here has 5, and the stack behind it has 5. So all together, those have 10. So down here on my shape, I'm going to say, okay, those have 10. There's another one of those right here. Those also have 10. And those in the back have 10. 10 plus 10 plus 10, that's 30 centimeters cubed. That's another way to look at it. So again, on an iPad, without looking at the video that the Eureka guy does, that I have posted on your QR code, I'm not even going to worry about this third one because those are 2 ways that you've shown me that you know how to solve for volume. So that's it for today. That's all you got to do. I miss you, and be safe at home.